Let's just jump into Lovable here. So this is how I'm building a lot of my prototypes, right? So Lovable is one of the, I think it's one of the most more popular web-based Gen AI development tools, or AI first development tools is sometimes what I call them. And I've been using this extensively to build some very cool stuff. I've learned a lot about all the pros and cons of tools like this, and I've also got my developers backing me up who can help me on anything that is glaringly a problem or is a little bit more complex. But I'm, to be honest, getting to a point where I can just do so much of it myself, particularly the prototype. I mean, I don't want to be in a position, and maybe this is the same for all of us. We don't have to always take things like all the way to production. There's still going to be an army of developers, and there's still going to be, and they're going to be incredibly important. But from a prototyping perspective and building out like the framework for what you want, or setting the direction of the app that you want, these tools are incredible. They are absolutely incredible. They are democratizing the ability to create stuff. So that it's as easy as creating one of these as it might be to create a Power BI report, for example, right? I'll just extend this so we can make it fit the screen. So what I did here, I'll click into Avatar Roulette here. And by the way, I will get to a point where I'm hoping that Avatar Roulette will be available for anyone to use. We want to get to a point. I just need to. It's pretty early days, so just like all of the apps, we want to put them through extensive testing, and we want to make sure they work. And there's a number of different things that we need to actually get right. But you see here that so just through natural language within Lovable, this is how I'm building. I built from scratch. This is how I built from scratch this particular tool. And I just prompted away. Like I certainly had an idea in my mind of what I wanted to do. And then I just, through natural language, I sort of prompted my way to get there. It certainly wasn't always in this straight line as well. Like I had some good moments and I had some annoying moments where the AI didn't do what I asked. But I got there. I think if I was to have a look at how many questions I had to work through, 120 so far. So to get to this so far, I had to go through 120 edits, I think, or at least messages. So edits 103, because what you can also do here is you can go into chat mode, and chat mode allows you to just talk to the AI without and get assessments, etc., not actually have it do anything. So that's why that's as high. So let's just say 120. So 120 prompts over a couple of days got me to this point, right? And so I got all of the front end components sorted out. I also have a lot of the back end sorted out as well. And so you'll see here that what it is doing, and behind the scenes, this is what's called dev mode. And what it's doing is it's building up all of the application, building it all up, right? But so it obviously writes all the code. It writes all the different files. So if you it just writes so much code. It's unbelievable. This would be tens of thousands of rows of code. Probably more, actually. Probably more if I added up every single one. No, probably tens of thousands. Probably wouldn't be over 100,000, I don't think. Yet, but it could. I mean, it could. Absolutely could over time. The other big thing about these tools, which is obviously very key if you're building business applications, is you need a backend. You need your database sorted out, right? You need a quick way to create a database. Remember, we're just sticking to prototypes here. We're not building. If you want to build something increasingly like very much more complex and have a lot of custom data and things like that, yes, it's probably going to take a little bit more. Maybe you want to move to Azure, maybe you want to move to AWS. But in terms of just getting a prototype going and sort of seeing what the front end might look like, this is totally sufficient, right? Totally sufficient. And what database backend they use is Superbase, right? And so I've connected up a Superbase database, and Lovable in the connection into here almost does it all automatically for you, just through prompting. You don't really have to do anything within the super basic experience if you don't want. You just have to understand how to navigate around it, right? So in this case, we don't actually have that much of a database, honestly. We don't. A lot of the sort of voice stuff is done with what's called 11 Labs. 11 Labs has this conversational AI feature, and that's where a lot of that AI voice stuff comes from. And they built a lot of the backends, so recording conversations, recording all of the transcribing all the conversations, whole range of different things. I'll show you in a second. But this is huge. This is huge, right? Also, the connection into GitHub is huge as well, because we can follow all the best practices we need to create an app that works, right? And also that we can build upon. So we can build the prototype, and then eventually, unless if we don't have the skills, we can find someone who has the skills or a developer to sort of take it to that next level to push it into production. But all of that is going to start within GitHub, isn't it? GitHub is just a core part of that, actually happening. So if we have a look here, I think it's this one, Voice Circle Talk. This is the name that Lovable came up with originally. But if you see here that this is a very comprehensive project, this SRC, that's sort of the main folder that you would use. I think it's a source folder is what they call it. And then you've got components, and then a whole range of files doing a whole range of different things. Now, this obviously is you see here, this is the name of all of the avatars. So obviously this is going to be a little bit foreign if you're just starting out. But I have truly learned through doing. And I'm starting to see the patterns, right? I understand what each of these files is doing, and I'm learning incredibly fast at the moment. And what I'm finding is that sort of the mental model of how these apps are brought together by the AIs, it's really starting to set for me. I'm really starting to get a much clearer idea of what it's doing, what is required, the connection between what you're seeing on the front end of an app versus how do you configure the back end of the app, how do you integrate with the database, how do you make sure that the right functions are being used when a user clicks on something. So just all of those things, right? So those, that's what the AI is building for you. And the more you understand, the more you know what the AI is doing, the better placed you will be to really flourish using these tools. So that's building that all up there, right? And so I just know where to look now. I know where to, I know what these things are doing. I know what super base edge functions are doing. I know what hooks are. I know what services are. Like, these are all the sort of crucial things that you just need to get across. Vibe coding is incredibly fun. Like, when I say I vibe coded this, I'm just a much better vibe coder than I was, say, 3 months ago or 4 months ago, because I actually know what's going on. Like that, 3 or 4 months ago, I didn't really quite know what the AI was doing. I was just doing it based on feel. But my skills have just gone to another level as soon as I've really known what I'm doing. And that is, that is something I highly recommend, getting to that place, right?